Welcome to the Friendly Frequencies podcast. I am your host, Carmen McLeod, and I am here to talk to you about my passion for spirituality and personal development. My purpose in life at this time is to remind you how powerful you truly are and that you create your own reality. If the mind, the soul, and the universe are topics that interest you, and you want to continue to evolve into your soul's purpose, then you are in the right place. Thank you for joining me as I travel the world and record my journey through self-discovery. Hello friends, I am coming to you from Darakaten Island, which is the island that I was at for about 2 or 3 weeks. About 2 months ago, I was working here, and it's a full circle moment for me. I'm recording this on the beach where I'm back here now with my tour group. So, yeah, as some of you know, I am now a tour guide in the Philippines for the next 4 to 6 months. And now this is just the most surreal thing because we are bringing the tour group. I'm with two other tour guides, one being one of my best friends right now, and our other friend who's training us. So the three of us we're in training right now. The next tour I will be on my own. But anyways, the three of us are lucky enough to be bringing our group through. We bring them through the same areas of the Philippines, all over the Philippines, a few different spots, and we're bringing them through the places that I used to work as a mural artist. It's actually crazy to think about because, this is the place that I met both of them, and both of them have completely changed my life in so many ways. Can't speak highly enough of them. But this is where I met Gemma. I've talked about her plenty, this is also where I met Simon, where he's the one that said, hey, you should apply to be a tour guide, with True Travels. That's who I'm working for. And that the rest was history. We both applied, both got the job, and here we are. So we're back at this location where I met both of them, and where I spent some time, made friends here, made some beautiful memories, and I just think that's so amazing and just so surreal. Not only is it here that we are coming, it's actually 4 different places that we're going to be visiting, either to stay for accommodation or just at bars or hostels that I have worked at in the past that we'll just go in for some drinks one night. That they're all places that I've worked before, so I get to see basically everybody in the Philippines that I have worked for and made these connections with. Almost all of them I never had to say a sad goodbye. It was all just see you later, see you when I'm a tour guide. And it's really special because it's really nice to be able to know that you're going to see somebody again, and it's not goodbye, it's see you later. So it's really amazing. What are the odds that I'm able to see all these people again? And I have a lot of leeway with my tour group, so I can choose to bring them to these certain places that some of them are already on the itinerary, which was perfect, and some of them are I can just add them anyways. So it's just really, really amazing that I get to have all of these beautiful moments of coming back to revisit some memories. Our first stop was Port Barton on Palawan Island, which was the first place that I went when I had the motorbike that I had for 3 weeks through the island. And so the tour group was with we have three vans full of people. We have 25 guests that we're guiding. So we had the vans taking us through from Puerto Princesa to there, about a 4-hour drive, and just taking the same route that I took when I had the motorbike. It was really nostalgic, even though it only happened a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. But just doing that route again and being I remember stopping there to look at the view, and just thinking about what was on my mind at that time and how I was thinking and what's changed since then. and it's really special. So anyways, that's my little update. I'm feeling really blessed and grateful for everything in my life, and I literally can't even put it into words sometimes. And I think that this might be for some parts of this, it might be hard to put this episode into words because the subject is going to be around psychedelics. So I'm surprised I haven't talked about this yet. I've probably mentioned it briefly. And for those of you who know me, you know that I am a huge advocate of psychedelics. I'm a psychedelic queen. I'm very passionate about it. It's something that one of the biggest things that I'm passionate about, because I've seen the beauty and the amazing outcomes that can come out of this medicine. I don't see it as drugs, and actually, and the intention that I am setting for this episode is to destigmatize for anybody that does have any stigmatizing mindsets around these and thinking of them as drugs and thinking of them as something that they're scared of. If that's you, then I invite you to just have an open mind coming into this episode. I know that psychedelics are they've been a big topic for especially the last few years, or even like the last decade. Like, they're huge in research. There's a million research studies on them, and it's no secret, no surprise to anybody what I'm going to be saying, I think, because it's quite it's quite a popular topic now. It's kind of like meditation. It's just exploded. So I doubt that I'll be teaching you anything new, and I'm not really trying to teach you anything. But just like every episode, I'm just going to talk about my own experience with these and what it's done for me. But I'll start the episode with just a little bit of knowledge that I have around it, because I did study this as part of my degree. I'm not an expert in it at all, but I have actually done quite a few research papers and studied a lot of this, because in university I had a lot of freedom to choose what I wanted my papers to be on. So in my psychology classes, criminology classes, even some philosophy classes, like all of these different ones, I can choose. There was I could choose what I wanted to make the subject about, and relate it to the course material. So I've done this in a few different subjects of study, and I would always pick psychedelics because I found it's one of the most interesting things to me. I'd say other than like dreams and the universe, I'd say psychedelics are probably number 3 of the most interesting things for me. It's definitely up there. So I'll just begin by so my intention really is, I want to encourage everyone. So I say this a lot. I want to encourage everybody that I talk to about this, that whenever it comes up in conversation, I encourage everybody to try psychedelics. And when I say psychedelics, I mean mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms, LSD, and there's many kinds. And those are the 2 most common, I'd say, that people around, at least people in my culture, my Western culture, do. But there's obviously a long history of psychedelics being used for traditional purposes, indigenous practices, all of these things. They're very spiritual, very sacred medicine, and especially when it comes to ayahuasca and things like this. I don't have experience with that yet. Of course, I'm going to be going to South America one of these days, and over the next few years, and I will have lots to say about that. But for now, most of my experience is with mushrooms. I've done LSD 3 times, but like the same batch of it. I just had it was just very strong, so I had to kind of separate it into a few different times. But so I've done only one real full trip on LSD, also known as acid. That was in Cambodia. It's quite the story as well. But I think I can't tell you all of the stories that I have but around mushrooms, because I've probably been doing them since I was 15 or 16, and obviously not all the time, but it's more of a summer thing. And it started off, of course, like I'm in high school, I'm a teenager, I'm just kind of doing it to experiment, have fun, my friends are doing it. So I have had experiences where I maybe wasn't in the best situation. The first time I did it was at a skate park, in Delta, where I live, where I'm from. Not the best place, and it was not with like the most ideal people. So like not all of them. Some of them were good friends, but the people that were around, they were not all friends. I ended up having a bit of it was just not great, but it's the first time's usually not always the best. But or I'm not sure if that's even true, but I've heard many mixed things. But I'm going to talk a lot more about my most recent experience, because this was about a week ago. So a week or two, maybe 2 weeks ago now. I did it alone, actually. So most of the times that I've done this, I've done it with friends, and it's always a different experience every time. But this time I did it alone. It's the second time I've done it alone, but the first time was back home. And it was a very different situation. It was amazing, but it was a very like small trip, not so intense because I didn't do a whole lot. And so it was just really great, really, nice and spiritual, and just really, I really enjoy my own company, so I know that I'm able to do this, and I have enough experience with the medicine that I can do this very confidently, knowing that I'll be okay. I know exactly what to do, I don't know exactly how it's going to be, but I have enough experience with it. So I did it by myself in the Philippines on a mountain, like a normal person, doing yoga, painting, meditating, and all that fun stuff. And it was one of the most powerful experiences I've ever had, because so my intention going into that was oh, wait a minute. I kind of skipped a step here. I was going to talk a little bit about the history of psychedelics. I don't know if you guys super duper care about that, but, there's a lot. Yes, actually, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. It doesn't have to be like a history lesson or anything, literally very small, but I think it's important that I talk about just a little bit about generally, before going into my own experience, generally talking about really what's the purpose of doing this, like why should you do psychedelics. So sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself right now. I'll save my juicy story for the end, because I know that's probably what you care about a bit more. But psychedelics are extremely transformational for your health, your mental health, and it can cure, I'm sure you've maybe heard this before, but it can cure depression, anxiety, different mental health issues. The only thing that it is not good for is psychotic mental illnesses, so schizophrenia, bipolar, things like this. It would not be recommended for anybody with those. But for people, and okay, I should probably also say that I'm not I am recommending that everybody try it, and of course, everything, you never know what's going to happen. It's not for everybody. And also, but when it comes to your mental health state, so I'm talking about people in general. I want everyone to experience this. Now, if you have mental health issues and you're looking to cure those, I'm not going to go ahead and recommend it to you. I think maybe I'm supposed to say that you should talk to your doctor. I'm not sure exactly how this goes, okay? This is my first time talking about this. I have no idea what I'm necessarily allowed to say, but I'm going to ask for forgiveness rather than permission, because I don't know. This is all new to me. But just to like lay it out there, this is what I know about it. I'm not going to recommend that if you have mental health issues that you want cured. I'm not going to, I'm not a doctor. Of course, I'm just talking about my experience and what I've learned about it. Anyways, but what I have learned, and plenty of research to back it up on this, but yes, it is really really good for helping people with depression, anxiety, PTSD, trauma, this kind of thing, addiction, and psychedelics are not addictive themselves, okay? They can be looked at as a drug, sure. They can be used as a drug too, right? Like I use them as a medicine. I use them as like honestly a